Aloha! My name is Brady Barrows, and I wrote the book Rosacea 101. I try to cover everything, and one of the things that I'd like to talk to you today about is the National Rosacea Society. I write about this in my book on Appendix F on page 173. Now, let's talk about some of the good things that the National Rosacea Society does. First and foremost, the good thing it does is it does rosacea research. The other things that they list on their website that they say is good is they have a wonderful website, and they have a rosacea hotline. In fact, you can call the hotline. I urge you to call this hotline. It's 1-888-NO-BLUSH, okay? And call them up and see what they can do for you. They also have publications for rosaceans, little booklets that they hand out, and they have a newsletter. All right, and you can go on their website and see some of the other good things that they say they do. Now, I think I'm one of the lone critics on the NRS, and I'd like to discuss some of the criticisms I have. And it involves how they spend their money. In the last 9 years, that's from 1998 until the year 2006, the NRS received in total donations $6.9 million. How did they spend this? Well, you can get Form 990 because all nonprofits are required to file Form 990 and make it available to the public. And I show you in my book, in this appendix, how you can do this. How much did they spend on rosacea research? Well, the NRS spent a total of $685,746 on rosacea research in those 9 years. Now, if you take how much that is about 9% of the total of the $6.9 million they received. What that means is if you donate $1 to the NRS, 9 cents is spent on rosacea research. Now then, you may ask, like I did, well, where does all the other money go? Where does it all go? Well, they'll list it in their Form 990, and like, for example, remember I discussed that they have a hotline? Okay, so how do you determine how much they spend on their hotline? Well, it's really hard to tell with the Form 990, but they put for 3 years, they put down hotline, and this is how much they spent in 1998, $90,312. In the year 99, $44,899. In the year 2000, they spent $42,819. And the banner year was they changed it in 2001 to the title Communications. And guess how much they spent on communications in the year 2001? They list $257,591 on communications. That's $250,000. Now, I totaled it all up, either hotline or communications, and for the 9 years they spent nearly $500,000 on communications. $498,080. Now, remember I mentioned their website? They have a really cool website, right? And they're very proud of it. And they mention how much it costs to have a website. And for the 9 years, they list it as online services, right? Guess how much they spent in 9 years on their website? $213,260 on a website. But one thing that's common through 98 to 2006 is the amount of money they spend on one private contractor, and then in the year 2005 and 2006, it's on 2 private contractors. Now, who is this? Well, they list it at the beginning in 98 as Sam Huff and Associates. Then later, they listed as Glendale Communications Group, Incorporated. And then in the year 2006, they list not only Glendale, but they list Park Mailing and Fulfillment Incorporated, which happens to be a subsidiary of Glendale Communications. So really, they're spending the money on the same contractor. Now, who is Glendale Communications Group Incorporated? Well, you can check that out in Illinois. You can find out, well, who is this? Turns out it's owned by Sam Huff. Who is Sam Huff? Can you find his name on the NRS website? No. You cannot find out who is serving on the board of directors of the NRS anywhere on their website. The only way you can find out is to get Form 990. And on Form 990, from 1998 till 2006, the director or the president that's serving on the board of directors for the National Rosacea Society is Sam Huff. And he owns Glendale Communications. Now, on the Form 990, they have to list the salaries of the board of directors. For the entire 9 years, none on the board have received any salaries. They're doing this gratis. No money. Now, what about this one area where it says, list the 5 highest paid private contractors? Well, every time it lists Glendale Communications for the whole 9 years, or Park Mailing and Fulfillment Incorporated for the last 2. How much money did Glendale Communications receive for the 9 years out of that $6.9 million? Well, they received $4,239,706 to one private contractor, Glendale Communications Group Incorporated, and a subsidiary, Park Mailing and Fulfillment Incorporated. That amounts to 60% of the entire money the NRS receives in donations. Where does the NRS get all its money? Well, they're not required by law to explain where they get their money. But on their website, they've mentioned that they get much of their donations from rosacea sufferers who donate, as well as pharmaceutical companies. However, I thought it would be good for you to know how the NRS is spending their money. And I write about it in my book, and I explain it, and you be the judge. I've been criticized because I criticize how the NRS spends its money. I'm merely pointing out what is going on. And I thought people with rosacea could run a nonprofit for rosacea better than the NRS. And so that's why I formed the RRDI, and I have a video about that too. And I hope that you can join us if you want and help us make a better nonprofit organization. Or, if you want, donate to the NRS. Go and give your money to them and keep supporting them. Many rosaceans still do. It's up to you, though. You have a choice now, and that's why I wanted to talk to you about this today. Aloha.